effective animal birth control programs. And all of us know that municipal bodies are bestowed with the responsibility of running vaccination and sterilization programs. However, nothing has been, we do not have an official census of stray dog population yet, though measures are in place now, and nor there exists a smooth running ABC. So in this context, we would like to hear from you, what is the present take on the ABC control program, that is A to Z of animal birth control.
Sir, can we move on to the third session?
Yes, I am trying to move because I got some problem with the sharing the other screen. I'm trying.
Okay, sir.
I shall leave and join back. Okay, madam.
Yeah, sure, please do.
I request all the participants to kindly wait. The next session is A to Z of ABC. That's one of the most important sessions that we were waiting. Kindly wait.
Is it visible, sir? Hello?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
Hello?
Yes,
It is.
Yes. Now we can see this thing, the dog population, increase in dog population. You can see the 1 year it can, in 2 deliveries, it can give to 16 pups. And in 2 years, it will become 128. And in 6 years, it can, if the dog pups are not killed, dead, or they have not killed, that can reach 67,000, because the number of the increase in population is very rapid in case of dogs. So they have got whenever the food is available in plenty, the rapid increase in the population that will create lot of problem, and that will create lot of competition with the for the space with the public. And that is the one reason for when it is increases the carrying capacity of a specific place, specific space, that there will be competition, and that will make the dog more aggressive. And we know, because we have got lot of example from different places, because we were killing the dogs till a few years back, till 15 or 20 years back, we were killing the dog, but we could not find a solution. In Madras or Calcutta or in Karachi, different places, Marion Island, many places, the killing of dogs resulted no benefit. No, there may be temporary benefit will be there, but that was we are getting when we are doing it before 20 years back. Whenever there is a this stray dog attack is more, and the dog catchers will come and kill few dogs, and that will cause some temporary relief. But we need a permanent solution, and then the killing of dogs is unethical, and also because this earth is not only for us, for the animals also. So without if we can manage without killing, and also our laws are against the killing of dogs, so we have to go for another alternative, and we have got a very successful alternative for this, and this is the animal birth control program. And because with the animal birth control program, we have got lot of success stories. Even we know, even in India, we have got success stories from Ooty or from Sikkim, from Jaipur, and also other examples are from the Kenya, rural Africa, Latin America, many places, because we could break the chain, and we could reduce the human rabies by animal birth control program, as well as by anti-rabies vaccination in dogs. And also successful stories are there from the Philippines, South Africa, Tanzania, Bangladesh, and different countries. So this is a proven technique, and also this is proved to be successful. It's animal birth control and animal anti-rabies vaccination program, and we have to effectively implement that. That is what Dr. Jayakrishnan sir told, that the anti-rabies animal birth control program was not in full swing during the COVID days. That's also one reason for the increase in dog population. And Sikkim model is there, and the Sikkim model is very successful, and now no human rabies death from 2006 in Sikkim. And Goa model is there now, because Mission Rabies, we are talking with the Mission Rabies team, and this Dr. Marvin Lopez, he is my senior in my college, and he's in charge of control of rabies in Goa. They found it's very successful. And animal birth control, all the programs are, because our aim is zero rabies by 2030, just like the WHO aim. And by animal birth control ABC project, we are preparing for that, but now we are way behind for that target. But we have to speed up all this program to get rid of rabies at the earliest. And whenever we go for I told about this thing, ABC Act, and we have got the standard operating procedure for sterilization of stray dogs under the Animal Birth Control Program. And that's issued by the Animal Welfare Board of India. And the main technical procedures that we do in the ABC program is selection of a predetermined area by using the map of the city and then moving in sequential order through the selected area of the city where the animal welfare organization plans to carry out the ABC. Now, first select the area and carry out dog count, because what's the dog count available with the census will not be the proper dog count. I tell you that. For example, in Calicut Corporation, the ABC, when they conducted the census, they found that 13,000 dogs are in the Calicut Corporation. But when it comes to this thing, our census data of the 2019, it is only 3,000 something. So that much variation is there. So whenever you want to get the population, you have to get a real picture of that area and carry out a dog count and make estimate of dog population in the area, then catch as many female dogs as possible from this area and transport them back to the shelter. Because you have to catch the female, then only you will be able to prevent the birth of young one. Because the problem is that the male, even if you catch the male and even on 1 or 2 male dogs are remaining, that 2 or 3 is very few dogs, they can make the other females pregnant. So you have to concentrate more on female, because catching all the males are not possible. So even very few males are there that can make the female dog and make them pregnant. And because these are they are seasonal breeders and dogs, and only during the breeding time they will allow the male, and after during the estrus period. So the dogs may be in 1 year, the dog may be the bitch, the female will be receiving male maybe only 3 to 4 days in one cycle. So that much, so that males will be available for other females also. And identify the dogs using a suitable identification technique. Now we are doing ear notching, or you can use any tags or anything what is feasible. And now for vaccination, we use paint, because for the temporary identifications, you can use all those things. And now we are going for the scanning of the muzzle. And because department is having a lot of other projects, because now the increase in diarrheal repens, leptospirosis, and also visceral larva migrans, many zoonotic diseases are there. So we have to tackle all these diseases in dogs, because hydatid cyst, kind of many cysts are there, and those things, everything we have to give medicine for the dogs and to protect a human. So and also we have to, and as an animal welfare issue, we have to protect these dogs, because many dogs that's caught from the field, you can see there's those with the twitching of the temporal region, because canine distemper recovered, and as canine parvovirus and infectious canine hepatitis, and all those dogs, we are planning for all those vaccinations for the stray dogs. And next, carry out, first identify the dogs using a suitable identification technique, then carry out spaying of all female dogs in the area, save those that are not fit to survive on the street, either due to extreme aggression to humans, illness or injury. Because those who are dogs, after catching the dog, if you feel that that dog is very aggressive or is suffering from any uncurable disease, you should not keep the dog back to that area. Because in ABC program, you are catching the dogs, and after sterilization and vaccination, you are putting back the dog to the same area. But if you feel that the dog is very aggressive, or when the dog is suffering from any uncurable diseases, you have to keep them in shelter. And vaccinate all the dogs against rabies, then arrange the release of the sterilized and vaccinated dog back to the same area were caught as soon as the dog is fully recovered and fit for street life. And the area should be reworked repeatedly. It is only when staff return several days in succession without optimum catches that a new area should be selected and worked. Because in one visit or 1 or 2 or 10 visits, you will not get all the dogs because they have to go repeatedly to get all the dogs. Then they can shift to other area, because in Calicut Corporation, by till last month, around 9,600, 700 dogs were neutered and vaccinated in last 3 years. And these are the different devices are there for catching the dogs, because loops are there, and these are the loops that can be used, and then traps are there, live traps that can be used. Then sacks you can use, and this is the most common method. This thing, pole and net you can use for catching the dogs. And this is used for vaccination also, because when the net is used, you can very easily give the subcut or intramuscular vaccination for this dog after catching. And after catching, they will be loaded to vehicles, and after loading, they will be transported to the ABC centers. And ABC centers, one of the most popular ABC center is the World Veterinary WVS, World Veterinary Service Center, because when I went for the training, and Dr. Karin Goser, she's from Italy, gave training to me, and also Dr. Ilona Otter, she's from Finland. She's working in India for since long, and she's giving very good training at the World Veterinary Service Center. And you can see the uterus of the dogs. The uterine horns are very long. The body is very small, and you can see you can get the pups in the horns. That's why the horns, in each horn, you will get around 3 or 4 pups. And we do, after doing the surgery, we go for this intradermal suturing. This is the one I have done. And by the even you do go for the intradermal suturing, the suture material will not be out. So that dog will not mutilate that wound by biting and pulling the suture material. And also after the sterilization and vaccination, we go for the ear notching for identifying the dog. Because there was one paper report for the one dog, which paper report came that the dog sterilized, delivered, but after the close examination, we found that that dog was not sterilized, and that the ear was injured by some hooks or something like that. And after the surgery, we keep it for at least 4 or 5 days. And when every day we check for the wound score and also healing and all, and other parameters. And once we feel that the dog is perfectly okay to be released, then we release the dog. We release the dog to the same place, so that that dog and that dog will be familiar to those people around that area, and so that dog will be less aggressive, or they will be very calm and quiet. That's why we send the dog to same area. And also we have started the ABC program with the laparoscopy OB-van, and we have done near the Tagore Scenery Hall and Corporation and all, because this the laparoscopic surgery facility of Veterinary University. But there was some problem in this thing, doing more surgeries with the proper sterilization, and also that's why we shifted for the permanent ABC center at Kozhikode. And this is even we are doing some surgeries in the field also. This is one surgery, and even I do for that. We do, because this one surgery of cat, neutering of cat, because that's so owned. Also, I sold that free roaming owned cats. When we go for they tell that they cannot bring us, we may do it in the field. And this is the ABC center in the for Kozhikode ABC center in Kozhikode. And this is the theater there and the operating facility. And another lot of other success stories there. Jaipur, and is there since 1994, more than 68,000 dogs in Jaipur had passed through this program. Now the human rabies case is very less there. And also you can see that in Darjeeling district, and we have got this thing, rabies now is very less. And oldest animal welfare organization in India, in Chennai is also there is a success story, and also in Delhi Delhi Society for Stray Canine Birth Control in Delhi, they are doing, and the result is very good. And this oral bait vaccine, just I showed the photo, because even though we are doing the injections and also the rabies controlled by the ABC ARV, because to get the feral dogs and also wild animals, wild dogs and all wild animals, we have to popularize the oral bait vaccine also. Okay, thank you. And I think it's time to stop because it's 3:45. Okay, thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you, Asma Madam and Jayakrishna Sir, Manju Madam, and all other respected doctors for listening to my class. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Shihabudheen. That was very, very informative, quite informative for us. You have actually shown us the different aspects of, the setting where you work and how it is done. And so that is really good to know. And thank you for your department for capturing around 10 dogs from our campus too. And you've taken them to neuter them and probably vaccinate. We have had a very bad incidents of, these dogs chasing the inhabitants in the campus and so on. So I am also interested to hear from you the various models of rabies control in the various states like Jaipur, Sikkim, and the latest being Goa. But then I think when I read through the Goa model, they had stated that they've used smartphone technology for enabling remote teams to carry out vaccination. So how applicable is it? Does it have a place in our setting? Something like that?
Yeah, we had to. Now we are in discussion with the Mission Rabies team at Goa, and they told that they will provide details of those techniques. And once we get it, we hope that we will be able to do it, because I know that Dr. Marvin Lopez, who is looking after this, he is my friend, and we hope we will be able to apply in our state also.
Thank you. Thank you, Shiv. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. The session is now open for discussion. The participants, if any doubt, you may please clear your doubts now.
Sir, I am Dr. Deepa from Department of Community Medicine, KMCT. My doubt is, sir told about oral bites, and in TRS, WHO TRS, they are telling that to reduce the contact with that animal while providing oral bites. What is the scientific reason behind that?
To reduce the contact with that animal,
Is after 1 or 2 hours of providing oral bites. Is it live vaccines?
Yeah, it's live vaccine, and that's given through oral bites, and that containing this thing, that cause injury to the mucosa, and that vaccine will enter into the body. That's the principle, and that's a thing that's done for the wild animals throughout the world, and also for the stray dogs in Goa. They're trying with that. They tried with that, but that efficacy is not as good as we get in this thing, injectable vaccine. So there is, and also it's very costly. That's the apprehension for using the oral vaccine. But we have to popularize it at least to get rid of the wildlife rabies.
Okay, thank you, sir.
This is Dr. Firoz. I have one doubt. Can I ask now?
Yes.
Yeah, the doubt is there a carrier state in rabies, rabid animals? The reason I'm asking you this is, one of the studies I found, which I think was done by the veterinary department, is that in 2021 or so, they tested a few dogs and said that 53% of the dogs are infected by rabies. This is one of the studies I found in the media. I didn't see the. So the doubt is, if 53% of the animals are infected with rabies, And if there is no carrier state in the dogs, all of them should be dying in a month or the stray dogs to half of what it is now. Why is it not happening? And so is the explanation that there is a carrier state in animals?
As far as I know, there is no carrier state, but the incubation period can be vary. It can take years. That's true. But that cannot we cannot say that that's a carrier state and that's the virus is shed from the animal. That's I didn't get any information regarding those things, because other case, if you want to say that it is in the carrier state, means it should shed the virus without showing the symptom of disease. I don't think that such a state is there in dog.
Yeah. So what is the explanation for the 53% infectivity of dogs with rabies? This, I think, was brought out by the Department of Veterinary Science, isn't it, in Kerala?
I didn't see that one. I shall inquire with that, and I shall personally inform you the details, because I have to go through those papers and get the details from Department of Science.
Excuse me, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jaykrishnan. Yes. Yeah.
It was reported out of the samples and
out of the samples collected. Yes, that's what the study. Yes.
This year there are 300 or 400 samples. Previous year 200, 150, etc. That is
exactly. That is a study I also saw. The collection of samples I thought was a random collection, isn't it? It was a random sample.
No, it is continuous. It is not random sample. It is suspected animals, their samples, and out of this 50% are positive. That is the answer.
Okay.
Sampling. There is no system.
It was not random sampling. Okay, then it is all right. Yeah. Suspected cases only. Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Dr. Shihabudheen, Dr. Jaykrishnan enjoyed both the talks. Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear? Something went wrong here. Anyway, I'll ask. One point about the compulsory vaccination is coming up in the next few months in the pet animals. And my suggestion is, at present, we don't know how much effective the vaccine which is being used, and the efficacy, the cold chain maintenance are not sure, and how frequently these boosters need to be given is not sure. We don't have much of the studies to prove that the protective level will be lasting this long and all. We cannot adopt the WHO or international policy of annual boosters with our own documentation of this effect of the present vaccines. So we should we be recommending the same schedule of the boosting of every year, or should it be more frequent is one question. Another one about this thing. Now, there were many cases of rabies proved and had following the licks and bites of all these puppies below 3 months, and you are not vaccinating those puppies, and you're vaccinating starting from 3 months onwards only. So in the coming months, shouldn't we take a policy to compulsory mandatory vaccination of all the pregnant animals? Because just like the whooping cough protection, this may afford a protection of these puppies in the first 3 months. So that is not included, I think. So compulsory vaccination of all the pets is definitely needed, but invariably all the pregnant pet animals need to be implemented, because all these things are ultimately aimed to protect ourselves from getting this rabbit virus from these pet animals. And if after some more weeks, what is going to happen is all the owners of the pets will be relaxed and to be on the safer side because they got vaccinated, but that's not the reality.
So I understand your concern, and the dogs, what we recommend is we recommend the first vaccination at 3 months and 4th month booster and every yearly booster vaccination. And you are telling that since we are not sure about the immunity of conferred by that vaccine, whether we should go for earlier booster vaccination. But the vaccine is actually they say that the manufacturers, even the Western countries, and they do once in 3 years this vaccine. Since in India is an endemic country, we go for yearly vaccination. And also many times we check the titer of the vaccine whenever any person want to export the dog to other places. Then we see that most of the time we are getting a sufficient protective immunity in dogs. So I don't think now there is any reason for this thing, reducing the time interval between the booster vaccination, and yearly booster vaccination will be sufficient, and unless it is exposed. And when it is exposed means again we have to go for post exposure. And the other thing, what about what you told about the vaccinated pregnant animals? Vaccinated pregnant animals definitely will impart the maternal antibody to the pups, but that's in rabies case, definitely it will not be sufficient to give the protective immunity. That is the main problem. And also in pups, when it is exposed also, the immune system is not developed to produce a protective immunity. And even in stray dogs and or any other animals, when it is exposed, actually, if it is not earlier our court order or our ABC rules came into existence, what we were taught is when an animal or stray animal or anything is bitten by a rabid dog, and if it was not previously vaccinated, it is safe to go for euthanasia, because even the injection of immunoglobulins and all not that easy in animals, because in the face and all, and especially most of the bite wounds we won't see because it will be in between the hairs and all. So whenever the pup is bitten by a rabid dog, that it will be better to go for euthanasia of small pup rather than hoping that giving the vaccine in the pregnant animal will impart immunity to those pup.
Can I ask one more question, Dr. Jason? Yes. Time permit?
We had to finish by 4 o'clock. Can ask one.
Okay, just one appeal to the group, because I expect more of community medicine experts and are here. So all of us should be jointly requesting for the possibility, considering for the possibility of pre-exposure vaccination of all those who can afford by whatever route, ID or IM or whole family ID, and that should be taken up by the IAP, all the associations, those who can afford it the earliest. Second thing is we should be boxing the national vaccination. This should be included. The one thing is the present schedule of 1 and 7 of WHO and the present schedule of national 1/7/28. I think we should be going for a via media rather than going for the 3 doses. We should be cutting down into 2, and that will be effective if it is given at a space, more space. There is no emergency. The 1/7, the protocol design guidelines designed by the WHO is basically to help the Westerners to visit, and they want the antibody to be rising too fast, even when it is lasting short period. They're not bothered to have a long duration protection, but they want the people to go for the tour visit to the rabies endemic countries, rather than looking at the sincerity to the developing countries. So we should not be going for 1 and 7. We should be going for a spaced thing, which will not be giving a protection in the early period, but that's not needed when it's a pre-exposure. We need a lasting immunity that will be in 128 or maybe 16 weeks, and that enables a long duration of protection with 2 doses. So we should all be supporting or arguing for 2-dose pre-exposure with 128 or long space rather than WHO or not the 3-dose this thing. So then one more thing about the cutoff of the passive vaccination. Should there be a cutoff of 40 units of a passive vaccination in all cases of 3rd category? No need. It is to be redefined. It is to be adequate enough to cover and give the protection at the local. It can be less in cases of just a bleed from a scratch, even though it is a Cat 3. There is no need to waste the antibody and calculate this 40 units per kg. That is excess. The other way around, if there is a multiple bites everywhere, there is no rule. There is not ideal for cutting the cutoff at the 40 and dilute and give it. Why should you dilute and give it the neutralization power? You are not sure. So both ways, the cutoff of 40 unit for something which for a local immunity is unscientific. It should be just one word, whatever is needed to neutralize the local, irrespective of the 40 units.
Thank you, Dr. Purushothaman sir, for your active participation. The second part, REG, there is we are also for that. Since REG have a local action neutralization, the board, the proportionality to body weight is no meaning. It is to be proportional to the injury. That is debate going on. And the other part, as a public health person, my opinion, that is my personal opinion. First, we have to vaccinate 8 lakhs dog population. They are the reservoir. 8 lakhs only. If we can vaccinate the reservoir, there is no need to vaccinate the population, whole population, 3 crore population. So priority should be first dog, then to the pre-exposure prophylaxis of human beings.
Thank you, sir. And since we have a shortage of time, we won't be able to take any more questions. Lastly, we can move on to the vote of thanks. So I invite Dr. Bindu Mohandas, Professor, Department of Community Medicine, KMCT, to deliver the vote of thanks.
A very good afternoon to all. Respected CEO, Dr. KM Nawaz sir, Principal Madam, Dr. Ledi Nair, Professor HOD, Community Medicine Department, Government Medical College, Calicut, Asma Rahim Madam, Chief Veterinary Officer, District Veterinary Center, PK Shihabudheen sir, HOD, Community Medicine Department, KMCT Medical College, Jayakrishnan sir, and all the delegates of this webinar. On behalf of Community Medicine Department, KMCT Medical College, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this occasion to all those who helped and made this webinar happen. First of all, I would like to thank our CEO and Executive Trustee, KMCT Group of Institutions, Dr. KM Nawaz sir, for supporting us throughout by providing all the necessities that are required in organizing and conducting this state-level webinar. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank our beloved principal, Ledi Nair Madam, for all the guidance and encouragement in hosting this webinar. Thank you, Madam, for all the support. With a lot of gratitude and respect, I would like to thank our Honorable Chair, Dr. Asma Rahim Madam, for not only sparing her invaluable time for us, but also for chairing all the sessions. Thank you so much, Madam. I sincerely thank our guest speaker, Dr. PK Shihabudheen sir, for accepting our invitation wholeheartedly and enlightening us with the sessions on how to limit human and animal conflicts, A to Z of ABC. And it was really interesting to hear from you the science behind the canine behavior and how to handle them. I'm sure that all the delegates had a very much good learning experience from your sessions. Thank you, sir. My heartfelt thanks to our beloved HOD, who is actually the backbone of this webinar, Jayakrishnan sir, for the interesting and very informative session on Rabies, the cycle of neglect. I thank sir for all the guidance, support, and encouragement in all our efforts. Thank you, sir. I owe special gratitude to the organizing secretary of this webinar, Dr. Manju, and all the community medicine department staff, postgraduate students, non-teaching staff, IT technical team of KMCT Medical College, who have worked hard to ensure that this webinar becomes a grand success. Finally, I would like to thank each delegate across Kerala who have joined this webinar today and taking part actively in the discussions and making it a grand success. I hope all of you had a very informative and productive learning experience. I sincerely thank you all delegates. Thank you. Have a great day.